Hi, I'm Erin Sterling, the Eckstein librarian. I'm so excited you are here. I help students with finding books to read, with researching, with technology. Feel free to contact me at any time at emsterling@seattleschools.org. All right, let's talk about using the library catalog. So first, if you go to Seattle Schools or your school website, you click on it. We're going to go to Student Family Portal. Scroll down, go to the Clever portal, click Login with Active Directory, and you'll just click through to get to Clever. If you're using a school computer, then it's pretty easy to do. If you scroll down to where it says Library Reference, you'll notice there's a library catalog icon. I would go ahead and favorite it, and you want the library catalog, not the classic one. And you'll notice that this red heart, that means I've already favorited it. I would also favorite Libby, because that's how you get ebooks. And the other thing is, if you go to More Apps, I would also favor Sora, because that's how you get ebooks from Seattle School. But what we're focusing on today is the library catalog. So once you find the icon and you favorited it, go ahead and click on it. And then you might have to choose a location. So you'll usually you have to do this once, but sometimes you have to do it every time. It kind of depends on when you've restarted your computer and where you're using the computer. So you can click on it, and then you can search for your school, in this case, Eckstein. Click Go. And then it'll take a moment, and it'll pop up with the library catalog. So this is Eckstein's library catalog. And if you click Log In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to log in with your username. Now, for students, it's going to be one, and usually your first initial, middle initial, last name, just like you log into the computers. For staff, it's just your regular login. Note, I'm not putting at seattleschools.org. And then you're going to put in your password and hit enter or click submit. And then it'll log you in. So a few things that I want to point out. If you click on My Stuff, you can actually look at what you have checked out and look at when it's due. Like, oops, I never returned this, or I forgot to check it in for myself. Now, let's say you're still reading a book. You can actually click these little three dots, and you can renew it yourself. So you can renew it. You can also check what books you have on hold. Right now, I have no titles on hold. It'll also say if they're ready, which means you can stop by. TAs will often deliver holds, but sometimes they get busy. So if you see that you have a hold ready, then you're welcome to stop by the library before school, after school, or anytime during the day with a pass. The other thing that I wanted to show you is if you click the home button and scroll down, there are these topics. My library is organized by genre. So you can actually pick a genre that you're interested in. So let's pick the funny genre. So we'll pick funny. And so it just defaults to sharing by kind of the title. You'll notice like 12 and 13 are the first. There are some things that you can do to sort differently and also to filter to availability. So if you click this little part in the side with the lines with an arrow dropping by, you can change how it's sorting. So one thing I like to do is see like what's been most recently in the library. Sometimes it doesn't mean what's most recently published, so you could also change the publishing date, and you'll notice those are things that are going to be published newer. And if you scroll down, what I really like is this availability function, because this will show all the books that are currently in the library. So if you're looking for a book right now, this is a great thing to choose. Because oftentimes when you're searching for a book, sometimes it's more popular, so the book may be in or the book may not be in. So this is just a way to browse. So you click View. And now you can just scroll down and see, you notice all of them say in right now. Now let's say you're like, ooh, I want to find this book. You want to look here at the call number and the sublocation. So the sublocation is where you'll go to first. So it means right now I'm just looking at all the books in the funny section. So it'll be the funny section, which is the yellow sticker at Eckstein. And then you'll notice here, most fiction or all fiction books start with this F. So you kind of ignore the F. And this is the part that you want to pay attention to, because this is the author's, the first three letters of the author's last name. And the books are organized in each genre alphabetically by author. So the G will be towards the, beginning, middle of the section. So you can write that down or just remember, and then you can go to the section and get the book yourself. And that's what I wanted to show you. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to show you actually is putting a hold. So you can click these 3 dots and click hold. And you can do this from home. So if the book says it's available, you could put a book on hold, and then basically it'll take it off from availability from other students, so they won't see it if you put it on hold, and then you can stop by the next day or wait for a TA to deliver it. You can also, if you click on the book, there's also a place to put a hold as well. There's also some other options where if you go to My Stuff, you can click this favorites. And right now there's no titles in favorites, but if you're searching for a book and you want to add it to your favorite, so if you want to add My Hero Academia, if you click down here and click view here, you have to actually click on the title. So there's a few extra clicks, but click these 3 dots, and this is where you can actually add to favorites. There you go. There's some ways to use the library catalog.
And it'll take you to this welcome screen. And you're going to say, yes, you do have a library card, because every student automatically has a library card. If you already have one, it's just like having a second, like I mentioned before. So you click yes. I'm going to search for the library, and I'm going to search for Seattle and hit enter. And then there are 2, you want Seattle Public Library. And then you're going to say, enter library account details, because you have library account details. So you enter it and you put 990000, and then you find your student ID number from the source. So if you log into the source, it's that top number, it's 7 digits, and you'll put in the 7 digits. It's a little bit different for staff, so I'm just logging in with mine. So just pay attention to what I was saying for yours. Your PIN is your birth date. It has to be 4 numbers. So if you're born January 2nd, it would be 0102. So I enter my PIN, and then you click sign in. Once you've logged in once, it kind of keeps you logged in. There's also a free app you can get, which is primarily how I read, but the reading experience on the computer is pretty nice. So really whatever device you have, you are able to have it. And so now you're logged in, and then you can search for any sort of book you want. And you can also do some browsing. So you can click this explore button. I like to go to teens, and you can click all titles to look at all the titles that are there. One of the things I like to do, especially now, because it defaults to things that are more popular, you'll notice a lot of these say place hold, place hold, place hold. You can choose these preferences. If you prefer ebooks or audiobooks, right now both are showing up, but like right now it's hard for me to listen to audiobooks because my kid's around. So I'm going to choose books. Availability. This is really nice because this means these are books that are available now. And then you can sort by popularity, just because then you will be able to see the books that are, a little bit more. If you like finding out about new books, then you can sort by the default, because that's what the default is. And now we apply preferences. The one thing about choosing books that are available now is that then it means that sometimes if you're searching for a book, you're like, why doesn't it have The Hate U Give? And it might be because people have a hold on it. So you might have to take off that preference. And so now you can see there are lots of books. You've probably heard of a few of these. I've read all of them in the first 2 rows, and I really like them. The Book Thief is probably whenever I ask my TAs for a favorite book recommendation, I almost always get at least 1 or 2 of them to say The Book Thief, and it's told from the perspective of death. It's during World War II. There's this girl whose family is hiding a Jewish man. She's teaching him how to read. It's really, really good, and the writing is excellent. We Were Liars is a really great thriller, so if any of you read One of Us is Lying, it has some reference, there's also lying in it. But this is one where you can't really trust what's going on, and there's something that happened to this girl 2 years ago, and you're trying to piece together what happened. Everything. I haven't gotten a chance to see the movie yet, but I really enjoyed the book, and I love her other one, which is called The Sun Is Also a Star. And that's Everything is about a girl who's allergic to literally everything, and then a boy moves in next door, and they kind of become friends, and she's trying to question whether things are happening. So those are some just off the top that come up. You can also narrow, so you can click this here, up here, more, and you can pick like a specific genre that you like. So right now, especially, sometimes I find it distracting to be reading and things like that. So I really like suspenseful books or thriller books right now. And you can just scroll down. You can see a lot of these look really good. Panic, I really enjoyed. It's uh, about a town in which these teens always organize this fairly dangerous teen only game where the stakes get higher and higher, and the main girl enters into it, and her friends are all really confused. You have a chance to win a lot, but you also could die. So that one's really fun. Of ones that I see here. People Like Us, I've heard is really good. Oh, the female of the species is dark. If you want a really dark one, it starts off with a girl who basically talks about how she killed someone, and you're trying to figure out exactly why. So those are a few suspense funds that I like. Anyway, so that's how Libby is. It's really great. I highly recommend it, and yeah, try it out.